What's up, everybody? This is Coaster Visuals. We're back with another review. Today I'm going to be reviewing Stuntfall at Parque Warner in Madrid, which is the giant inverted boomerang coaster that opened with the park in 2002. Now, normally Vekoma boomerangs are not that great of rides, but the giant and inverted boomerang is very, very different. These rides are huge, they're intense, they have awesome airtime on the drops, and honestly, I think it's the best cloned roller coaster by far. So I'm going to talk all about this ride in this review, and also everything I say about this ride can also apply to Aftershock, the other giant inverted boomerang I've ridden at Silverwood. So this will kind of be a combined review for both of these rides. So yeah, let's get it started. Before we get into the ride experience, I want to talk about the presentation of both of these coasters, but particularly Stuntfall. It looks great in the park skyline with the giant towers. And the way it's worked into like the Warner Brothers movie studio area of the park is really great. This coaster has a stuntman theme, obviously, and it gives me really similar vibes to the old Freefall ride that used to be at Great Adventure with the theming Stuntman's Freefall. So as someone who grew up with Great Adventure, I really like that about this ride, which is probably why I have a slight bias towards Stuntfall over Aftershock, but really it's just like the theming differences. You know, the ride experience is very similar, is basically the same. So the presentation of this ride is awesome, and it's very intimidating seeing the car getting pulled up slowly while everyone's staring straight down at the ground. So yeah, presentation, these rides kill it. They look so great. And Aftershock at Silverwood also looks really great with the mountains in the background, and it just like, you have this tiny little park and then this giant ride just on the highway, and it's awesome. So both of these rides, the giant inverted boomerangs, do fantastic job at presentation, which is really cool. So you get into your trains, and the trains are interesting on these. So they're 4 across, but the rows are kind of staggered. So you have like 2 seats on the outside that are a little further back, and then 2 in the middle. And if you want to get to the one side of it, you have to walk through the middle seats. It can be a little confusing how to load, but after a while you get used to it. The restraints are pretty much the same on both of these rides. The restraints on Stuntfall are a little like thicker and more soft, and they also don't have there's also an additional seatbelt that Aftershock has that Stuntfall does not have. So I'd say dispatches are a lot quicker on Stuntfall, which is a good thing. So this ride is just, the track in the station looks huge. It almost looks like it has 4 rails, kind of like how X2 does. And there's just so many moving parts, and this ride is very complicated. It's pretty clear why it had a lot of issues when it first opened. But the cool thing about Stuntfall is it's the one in giant inverted boomerang that's been operating consistently. It's never been relocated. It's the one that was actually programmed by Vekoma instead of Six Flags. So it really had less issues than the other one, and it definitely feels like it's the one that's changed the least, for sure. So once you get dispatched, you hear the cables start to whir, and you get pulled out of the station backwards slowly. And you begin your ascent up the first spike. And these are almost 200 feet tall. So they're very tall, and they're very intimidating. And as you're getting pulled up, you feel yourself just sliding forward into the seat as you're hanging downward, and it's really scary and an awesome feeling. I love it so much. So then you reach a max height of 177 feet, and then you drop straight down at 90 degrees, and you hit 4.5 Gs at the bottom of this, so it's very intense. You fly through the station, which is an awesome visual for people waiting in the station as well. And you head through the typical inverted boomerang layout. You have a big co-roll, which is whippy. I'd recommend leaning forward here if you're shorter, because you will hit your head if you don't. But as long as you lean forward, it's not painful at all. And then you go down through the vertical loop, and this is way more intense than the vertical loops on other boomerangs. And you get some really nice positive Gs going through this whole element, which is great. And then you fly up the second spike, and you kind of do the whole layout in reverse. But I actually think the best part of the ride is this second spike, because when you go up it, it catches you, and you start to go up slowly, and it almost causes you to lift out of your seat and stay there the whole time until you drop back down to the ground. So it throws you out of your seat and then holds you there as you're getting lifted up slowly. And it's a wild feeling, and I've never been on another coaster that does that. So I really, really like that about Stuntfall. And then, yeah, you complete the whole layout backwards. I really like the vertical loop going backwards. It's super intense, and it just causes my whole body to fold forward, and I love that section a lot. The Cobra roll in the back row is good backwards because in the front row, because going back through it, you get whipped through that last and get dragged down to the ground, and that's really cool. So as of where to sit on this ride, I would definitely say either back outside seat, or I think front middle are the two places to go. Either way, it's great. And I mean, each one has stuff about it that's a little better. Like, the first spike is definitely better in the back outside seat, but then the second spike is definitely better in the front seats. And I'd say the front middle is probably the best for the front row, because then you get a completely unobstructed view. So then at the very end of the ride, after the Cobra roll, you fly back through the station, and then you go up the first spike again, and then it catches you, and when it catches you, you will fall forward into the restraint, and it's awesome. This is one of my favorite parts of the ride, and then the whole time you're getting lower down slowly, you're just dangling, and it feels like you're about to fall out. It's a really cool ride, and it's so unique, and like, this is definitely like a thrill seeker's coaster. If you like staring straight at the ground, this is definitely a ride you're gonna like. The way I would describe the giant inverted boomerangs is they almost feel like a combination of X2 and a regular boomerang. Because you have the boomerang layout, but there's points where you're staring straight down at the ground for so long, and X2 is really the only ride that I've been on that does that. So it definitely reminds me of both of those, especially with like the 4 rails that it has as well, kind of like how X2 does. So would definitely recommend giant inverted boomerangs. I love these rides so much. Whether you ride Aftershock or Stuntfall, you're gonna have a great experience. I know there's another one in Russia, and I think there's one in China too, but I don't think I'll ever get to ride those. So I'm just really happy I got to experience Stuntfall and Aftershock as much as I did. So for the score for the giant inverted boomerangs, I'm gonna give them a 10 out of 10. Like, for what this ride is, I don't really think it could be any better. It's definitely my favorite cloned roller coaster, and I would highly recommend it if you love an intense ride. So that about does it on my thoughts for the giant inverted boomerangs. Definitely let me know, have you been on these rides, Aftershock or Stuntfall? What do you think of them? Are these also your favorite clone coasters? Or maybe you prefer something else like Mr. Freeze. I'd definitely love to hear it in the comments, so please let me know. Please share the video and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. It means a lot to me. And stay tuned for more reviews soon. I hope you guys all have a great day. Thank you.